So in case you missed it, New York and Dublin just unveiled a project called The Portal, and it's a 24/7 live feed that is streamed between both cities for the next 6 months, and I'm just waiting to see all the stupid antics that come from this thing. So I just saw this Portal project on Twitter, and I instantly wanted to talk about it, and with the little bit of research that I did from this, I believe this is not the first of its kind. This artist and company behind the portal actually has a couple of other portals around the world with the intent in the future to be able to connect all of them, and that way they just cycle through the live feeds. And you can see a bunch of different countries, all around the world. Pretty cool concept if you ask me, because it's kind of like those live feeds that you can just go on YouTube and watch, but this one's actually interactive. You're seeing the city. And I actually kind of watch those live feeds from time to time just in case something crazy is gonna happen, which it normally never does. It's just people kind of just chilling and living life. But they're still interesting to watch, especially as background noise. But then if you make it like a two-way thing, I think it's kind of cool, because you're literally talking to other people across the world, and that's kind of fun. And that's exactly what they did with the New York and Dublin portals. They had a big spectacle of it. Of course, they had some dancing, they had people waving hi, they had signs and shit like that, which I thought was kind of cool. There was one interesting interview where a woman was like, "That's my husband," and her husband was in Dublin. So they must have been planning this for a while, because I doubt that's just a coincidence. That's kind of crazy if it was, though. So you see all this footage of everybody being like, "Yeah, we love you, I hope you're doing good." And it's really nice, it's wholesome, and that's what you want to see from stuff like this, right? Like, we want to be able to connect with the rest of the world and just, know other people are out there, which is a great feeling. It can be very comforting. But this is America.
Don't catch you slipping now.
And if I know anything about Americans, when they see that portal, they see opportunity. And that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video. Just some of the things that I predict to happen in front of that portal, or I think people are going to try to do over the next 6 months. I do want to point out I'm not the only one that's thinking of this, because I saw this on Twitter as well. The first video from an Irish person in Dublin recording a woman getting punched in New York City in real time through a portal is going to break this app. I've only ever been to New York once, but apparently a woman getting punched is a very common occurrence, which is pretty sad in New York. But that comment kind of goes in line with one thing that I was thinking, is there's definitely going to be a fight in front of this thing. I don't know if it'll be planned or if it'll just happen, but I do think eventually the people of Dublin are going to see an American fight just go down. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is planned. Like, I think I could see people making a spectacle of it. Maybe two guys that are from like backyard wrestling, which you get some WWE stuff in there. Actually, now that I think about it, if the WWE had a match where, like, let's just say freaking, back in the day, if it was like Stone Cold and Booker T, they're over here fighting in a freaking grocery store, they should get two of their new superstars like freaking Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and just have them fight in front of this live stream, and I think that would be pretty funny. But I do think you're probably gonna have some stuff staged like that, where you're gonna have, maybe some backyard wrestling or maybe some like MMA stuff that goes down in front of this thing. Now, from the videos I see, and granted, this thing's only been live for like 24 to 48 hours, I don't know how heavily guarded it is. At least speaking from the New York side, I haven't really seen too many videos where there's a lot of police in the area kind of watching over this thing. Which, there's gotta be something, right? Because, you can just throw something. I don't know how strong that live feed glass is. What if you just break this thing immediately? Like, I could expect vandalism happening, and if that happens and somebody captures it on the, the side of Dublin, they're like, "Oh, what's going on there?" and it just cracks. That'll be kind of interesting to see. The portal's cracking, oh no! Actually, I'm a bit disappointed in New York, because it seems like Dublin has been taking the crown right now for the crazy stuff that's happening, because there was this one lady right here that was being taken away by the cops. The comments say that she was a junkie. I'm not going to assume things, but, some people are also saying like, oh, she was trying to get a free ride to New York really quickly. Either way, Dublin takes the dub for the first person to get hauled away by the cops. And then you also had another person that I do believe this is from Dublin, so we're seeing New York in the portal, mooning everybody, getting, showing them a nice happy time, a nice little flash, if you will. If you will. And yeah, so New York, you got to step it up, New York. What's going on here? Dublin kicking our asses with the weird stuff done in front of the portal. So 100% calling some type of fight. The next one I'm saying I think is going to happen is there's going to be some type of OnlyFans stuff that happens. Whether it's people going over there and doing the business in front of it, or it's going to be like some flashing or whatever. But there will be people that I do think make some type of OnlyFans content from this damn live feed. And now, if they're smart, if anybody's actually doing this, whether it's OnlyFans stuff or fighting or whatever, you have somebody in Dublin recording your side of this. You're like, yo, this is gonna happen right now. They film it, yada yada. That way you have both perspectives, all right? If you're gonna do something crazy, at least do it right. That's the one thing I'm banking on. I am banking on some type of OnlyFans content going down in front of the New York portal for sure. The next one is probably gonna be some type of flash mob. Although they've already kind of done a lot of dancing, and I don't want to say like, oh yeah, people are going to TikTok, everybody's going to TikTok dance in front of this thing. That's totally going to be a thing. But I'm talking about like a legit kind of flash mob will probably go down that's going to be like, what's going on there? Because I think that'd be kind of cool, you know, depending on what it is. But I do think there's going to be a lot of like groups of people that are either actors or performers or whatever that will probably go and do some kind of big event in front of this thing. I don't know if that's just like something you can, I mean, a flash mob, I think you just do it, right? You don't get permission for that. But I'm curious if there's going to be anything like that. I also don't, again, I didn't look into this hardcore. I don't know if New York is going to allow people to do stuff in front of this, like actually like, hey, yeah, get a permit and do that kind of stuff. I figure it's just a live feed. Everybody's going to do whatever they want. My next prediction is we're going to have a SpongeBob moment, okay? We're going to have the Squidward on stage, everybody hates him, but SpongeBob shows up moment where it's going to be like a janitor. It's going to be somebody cleaning the area around the freaking portal, and on the other side, people are going to be like, yeah, clean that thing, yeah! Which, to be honest, I really hope something like that would happen. And again, I just hope that there's visual, like, captures of this happening. Like, if people are freaking out, I don't know if there is, like, cameras on top of the portal, you know what I mean? Like, so you have the portal view right here, but then you have an outside perspective camera of the portal, because that way we can just have all of that footage to see what happens over the next 6 months, which I think would be fantastic. Fighting, OnlyFans, freaking SpongeBob moment, I think those are going to happen. I think somebody's going to end up cooking in front of one of these portals. They're going to bring up, you know, one of those carts and they're just going to start cooking it up, you know? Going to try to be Bobby Flay over here minus the assholeness. Actually, I would be very shocked if there is not plans for something to happen over the next 6 months in front of that portal. I'm talking about like talk shows are going to be doing stuff outside of it and all that kind of stuff. That would not surprise me. That's a very American thing to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of cook-off in front of this thing, or live, you know, reality TV. They're like, the finals are happening at the portal. Amazing Race is probably gonna have people end at the freaking portal, and that's how it's gonna go, and everybody in Dublin's gonna be like, yeah, you guys won. Next up, I would be shocked if this doesn't happen in like the next week, and it's going to be live streamers going to the portal. Like, I think that is going to be very common. That could also be where the fights happen. You know, Kick might, actually, it might be everything. Kick might be able to do all of the things that I just listed all in one moment, because they might have somebody that's going to go fight over somebody that just did some OnlyFans things while doing some blow, and then also mooning everybody at the same time, because that's kind of what you get when you go watch Kick. So all of these things could be broken in the next week, but I do think live streamers are going to use this as an opportunity for a stream, and they're going to be like, hey guys, if you're in Dublin, I'm going to go to the portal right now, so go hang out at the portal, and we'll wave hi to each other and stuff like that. So I highly, highly expect, you know, live streamers to do this. I don't know if YouTubers would make a big thing about that. I don't know if this would be a huge YouTube video for like a spectacle, unless you got like Mark Rober going over there and he's gonna do the freaking, you know, that stuff that explodes the slime in front of it, which that would be kind of crazy. But yeah, I don't really expect any kind of crazy big YouTuber stuff to happen, but live streaming, I definitely believe that there are gonna be, you know, New York live streamers that are gonna go to this thing and make a big spectacle of it. It definitely won't be Kai Cenat though, because they don't want him live streaming in New York right now. Since this project is supposed to be live for the next 6 months, I could definitely see the start of the NFL doing something in here. Maybe they go and they have somebody get tackled in front of it. So I could see somebody getting like blindside hitted by this, which I think would be kind of cool. Although it might not be the NFL though. It might just be like some college bros that are like, hey, let's go to the portal and knock each other out. with football gear on. So I expect some kind of crazy like that. A Nerf fight just kind of showed up in my brain. I'm gonna tell you right now though, I'm gonna be very disappointed if not one of these things happen, because I'm gonna be just, come on America, I know you too well. Y'all guys are seeing that you're, popularity. I know my fellow Americans, they see that as an opportunity, 100%. But I don't know, I'm trying to think of like what else is gonna go down in front of this thing, because I know it's gonna be stuff I can't even think about right now. Unfortunately, and probably for the best, I don't think there's an audio feed to the actual other side of the portal, but if there was, I would guarantee that there would be some kind of rap battle or some kind of like music off, which I think would be kind of interesting. But it would be crazy if there was some kind of audio feed. I don't think that's the case with the portal. It is just all visual. But a rap battle in different countries would be kind of awesome if, you know, both people were able to understand each other. That would be kind of cool. Right now, my brain's farting on anything else that come out. I do think there's probably going to be a lot of branded stuff that happens with it. Like, I could see Legos having like a Lego building contest in Ireland and New York at the same time. So branded stuff, I kind of feel like will happen with this thing. But, you know, it's 6 months. It's going to be a, you know, allotted time slot. I guess they'll do it throughout the day. But yeah, I don't know. I'll be very curious to see what's going to happen with New York's side of the portal. And Dublin, I mean, they're already trying to one-up. I mean, I should say they already are one-upping. So we'll see what crazy stuff Dublin's going to have on the docket. But yeah, that's all I want to really talk about in this video is my crazy predictions for the portal coming over the next 6 months. And yeah, if some crazy stuff does happen, I will make a follow-up video to this. It might be fun. If you like this content, hit that subscribe button because we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. But don't forget your daily dose of juice.